Hello and welcome to this second look exploring session where we take another look at a play we've already done in some detail in the past, and because it's a Friday, it's the end of the week, we're going to just go for it. We're going to rattle our way through the whole play. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be reading stage directions. We're going to try and act them out, even when they're basically impossible to do in a Zoom sort of session. We're just going to have a go. We've vaguely prepared. Those who've had time to do some preparation have done so. Some of us are just going to be doing what we do because it's a complicated and busy world out there, and that's the nature of the beast. So this is the life and death of the Lord Thomas Lord Cromwell, which we are coming back to, as I say, for the second time, and I'm very much looking forward to going through this play once again, having got a little bit of a handle on it the last time. In fact, I have written. And I spent whole seconds on this. I mean, to say minutes would be excessive, but definitely whole seconds have been spent writing a little prologue. So there is now a prologue to this play that I will be performing for you to help cue in the show. Make sure everybody's ready, and the cue for everyone to start coming in for the first scene will be as I say the title of the play. It's I thought I'd make the cueing very very straightforward for when you can all come in. I say there won't be too many sound effects. There won't be any marking of when scenes begin and end. It'll just be when people pop in and out again. And we're not trying to be perfect. We're going to aim for goodness and as much as we can manage in this forum. Reading the various parts today, we have this wonderful room of people. So today, reading Thomas Lord Cromwell himself is...
Sandra, and I really hope nothing topples over me, having just moved loads of furniture around.
Excellent. Thomas dying somewhat earlier in the text today due to collapsing shelves. Reading today, his servant Hodge as well as Suffolk is...
Hello, I'm Sarah Blake. I'm an actor, writer and director living in Germany.
And reading the wonderful Frisky Ball and First Citizen is...
Aliki Chapel. I'm an actor, translator, and occasionally theatre maker living in the north of England.
Reading Cromwell's dad, Old Cromwell, as well as Wolsey and a hangman is...
Hello, I'm Helen Good. I'm a historian, and I'm also in the north of England.
Reading two distinctly different governors, as well as Norfolk is...
Hello, I'm Lynn. I'm a college writing teacher. I live in the northwestern United States.
Reading Bannister, a lieutenant of the Tower and second witness today is...
Hello, I am Dan. I am an actor based in Montpellier, the south of France.
Reading Bedford, as well as Mistress Bannister today is...
Hello, I'm Tamara. I just managed to fog up my glasses. They're fine now. And I am an actor currently in Germany.
Yes, saying fogging up too quickly can sound unfortunate, but just about got away with that without having to put in an edit for YouTube. Reading Bagot, host, wife, servant, and saddler, a whole host of parts today is...
I'm Pamela. I'm an Irish actor based in London.
Reading another one of the Thomases, Thomas More, as well as an usher and second citizen is...
Hi, I'm Eric, and I just realized there are 3 Thomases in this play, at least 3, the perfect minimum, just for...
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other characters, the more lowly characters, are also called Thomas as well. It's a very common name, but they're probably Johns. We'll probably say the unnamed characters, they're probably all called John. Reading Bowser, Hales, second merchant and son is...
Liza Graham, actor, singer, text coach, and general theatre bod in London.
Reading second Smith, a post and gardener today is...
Hi, I'm Alan Scott, neither an actor nor an academic, and based in Suffolk in the UK.
Reading first Smith, a citizen, first merchant, and a herald today is...
Hi everyone, my name's Elizabeth Amisu, and I'm an author living in Romford.
And similarly with another brace of parts, reading chorus, messenger, Seeley, first witness, and sergeant is...
Hello, I'm Emma Kemp. I am an actor based in London.
And I think I've covered anyone. Anyone been ignored? Have I missed anyone? You all feel excellent. I'm your host, Robert Crighton. I will be filling in any parts that I've accidentally not given to anyone, of which I've just got a sneaking suspicion in my mind that I've just remembered someone I've possibly missed, which hopefully may be reattributed to somebody quietly in the chat while this play goes on. So all that remains, beyond my desperate paranoia at this stage, is to ask the company to disappear from the screen while we go into the newly minted chorus, introductory prologue that I have spent ages producing. Think back, dear audience, to a time known as BHM, before Hilary Mantel, before Wolf Hall, before Cromwells were always Olivers, to a time when this Thomas was a figure of the recent past, whose life story could not necessarily be fully told on the dramatic stage. So this is the story of the life of Thomas Cromwell, of his lovely, hard-working father, not necessarily many beatings here, of his adventures in Europe, his generosity, his not quite rags to riches shift in social circles, and then his death by politics, outmanoeuvred by his betters, the established establishment. If this play speaks not of the Reformation, the disillusion, the martial marital actions of an absent king, be not surprised. This is 1599, and Henry was the Queen's dad. Duh. So, enjoy the ride, laugh with Hodge, boo at Bagot, warm your cockles round some frisky ball, and join the blacksmithery of old Cromwell's prentices in Putney, and this life and death of Thomas Lord Cromwell.
Masters, I think it be past 5 o'clock. Is it not time we were at work? My old master, he'll be stirring anon.
I cannot tell whether my old master will be stirring or no, but I am sure I can hardly take my afternoon's nap, for my young master Thomas, he keeps such a coil in his study, with the sun and the moon and the 7 stars, that I do verily think he'll read out his wits.
He skill of the stars. There's good man, Cara Fulham, he that carried us to the strong ale where Goody Trundle had her maid got with child. Oh, he knows the stars. He'll tickle you, Charles Wayne, in 9 degrees. That same man will tell you, Goody Trundle, when her ale shall miscarry. Only by the stars.
Aye, that's a great virtue. Indeed, I think Thomas be nobody in comparison to him.
Well, masters, come, shall we to our hammers?
Aye, content. Let us first take our morning's draught, and then to work roundly.
Aye, agreed. Go in, Hodge.
Oh, good morrow morn. I do salute thy brightness. The night seems tedious to my troubled soul, whose black obscurity binds in my mind 1,000 sundry cogitations. And now the aurora with a lively dye adds comfort to my spirit that mounts on high. Too high, indeed, my state being so mean. My study, like a mineral of gold, makes my heart proud, wherein my hopes enrolled. My books is all the wealth I do possess. And unto them I have engaged my heart. Oh, learning how divine thou seemst to me, within whose arms is all felicity. Oh, peace with your hammers. Leave your knocking there. You do disturb my study and my rest. Leave off, I say, you mad me with the noise.
Why now, Master Thomas, how now? Will you not let us work for you?
You fret my heart with making of this noise.
How fret your heart? Aye, but Thomas, you'll fret your father's purse if you let us from working.
Aye, this 'tis for him to make him a gentleman. Shall we leave work for your musing? That's well, i' faith. Here comes my old master now.
You idle knaves! What are you loitering now? No hammers walking and my work to do? What, not a heat among your work today?
Marry, sir, your son Thomas will not let us work at all.
Why, knave, I say, have I thus carked and cared, and all to keep thee like a gentleman? And dost thou let my servants at their work, that sweat for thee, knave, labour thus for thee?
Father, their hammers do offend my study.
Out of my doors, knave, if thou likest it not. I cry you mercy. Is your ears so fine? I tell thee, knave, these get when I do sleep. I'll not have my anvil stand for thee.
There's money, Father. I will pay your men.
Have I thus brought thee up unto my cost, in hope that one day thou wouldst relieve my age? And art thou now so lavish of thy coin to scatter it among these idle knaves?
Father, be patient and content yourself. The time will come I shall hold gold as trash. And here I speak with a presaging soul, to build a palace where now this cottage stands, as fine as is King Henry's house at Sheen.
You build a house? You knave, you'll be a beggar. Now, afore God, all is but cast away that is bestowed upon this thriftless lad. Well, had I bound him to some honest trade, this had not been, but it was his mother's doing to send him to the university. How? Build a house where now this cottage stands, as fair as that at Sheen? He shall not hear me. A good boy, Tom. I can thank thee, Tom. Well said, Tom. Gramercies, Tom. Into your work, knaves, and hence, you saucy boy.
Why should my birth keep down my mounting spirit? Are not all creatures subject unto time? To time who doth abuse the world and fill it full of hodgepodge bastardy. There's legions now of beggars on the earth that their original did spring from kings and many monarchs whose fathers were the riffraff of their age. For time and fortune wears out a noble train to beggary, and from the Hunghill minions do advance to state and mark in this admiring world. This is but course, which in the name of fate is seen as often as it whirls about. The river Thames that by our door doth pass, his first beginning is but small and shallow, yet keeping on his course grows to a sea, and likewise Wolsey, the wonder of our age. His birth as mean as mine, a butcher's son. Now who within this land a greater man? Then, Cromwell, cheer thee up, and tell thy soul that thou mayst live to flourish and control.
Tom Cromwell! What, Tom? I say!
Do you call, sir?
Here is Master Bowser, come to know if you have dispatched his petition for the Lords of the Council, or no.
Father, I have. Please you to call him in.
Oh, that's well said, Tom. A good lad, Tom.
Now, Master Cromwell, have you dispatched this petition?
I have, sir. Here it is. Please you peruse it.
Ah, it shall not need. We'll read it as we go by water. And, Master Cromwell, I have made a motion may do you good, and if you like of it. Our secretary at Antwerp, sir, is dead, and the merchants there have sent to me for to provide a man fit for the place. Now, do I know none fitter than yourself, if with your liking it stand, Master Cromwell?
With all my heart, sir. And I am, and much am I bound, in love and duty to your kindness shown.
Body of me, Tom, make haste, lest somebody get between thee and home. Tom, I thank you. Good Master Bowser, I thank you for my boy. I thank you always. I thank you most heartily, sir. Oh, a cup of beer there for Master Bowser.
It shall not need, sir. Master Cromwell, will you go?
I will attend you, sir.
Farewell, Tom. God bless thee, Tom. God speed thee, good Tom.
I hope this day is fatal unto some, and by their loss must Bagot seek to gain. This is the lodging of Master Friskyball, a liberal merchant and a Florentine, to whom Bannister owes £1,000, a merchant, bankrupt, whose father was my master. What do I care for pity or regard? He once was wealthy, but he now is fallen, and this morning have I got him arrested at the suit of Master Friskyball, and by this means shall I be sure of coin, for doing this same good to him unknown. And in good time, see where the merchant comes. A good morrow to kind Master Friskyball.
Good morrow to yourself, good Master Bagot. And what's the news? You are so early stirring. It is for gain, I make no doubt of that.
It is for love, sir, that I bear to you. When did you see your debtor Bannister?
I promise you I have not seen the man this 2 months' day. His poverty is such, and I do think he shames to see his friends.
Why, then assure yourself to see him straight. For at your suit I have arrested him, and here they will be with him presently.
Arrest him? At my suit? You were to blame. I know the man's misfortune to be such as he's not able for to pay the debt, and were it known to some, he were undone.
This is your pitiful heart to think it so. But you were much deceived in Bannister. Why, such as he will break for fashion's sake, and unto those they owe £1,000, pay scarce 100. Oh, sir, beware of him. The man is lewdly given to dice and drabs, spends all he hath in harlots' companies. It is no mercy for to pity him. I speak the truth of him for nothing else, but for the kindness that I bear to you.
If it be so, he hath deceived me much, and to deal strictly with such a one as he, better severe than too much lenity. But here is Master Bannister himself, and with him, as I take, the officers.
Oh, Master Friskyball, you have undone me. My state was well nigh overthrown before, now altogether downcast by your means.
Oh, Master Friskyball, pity my husband's case. He is a man hath lived as well as any, till envious fortune and the ravenous sea did rob, disrobe, and spoil us of our own.
Mistress Bannister, I envy not your husband, nor willingly would I have used him thus, but that I hear he is so lewdly given, haunts wicked company, and hath enough to pay his debts, yet will not be known thereof.
This is that damned broker, that same Bagot, whom I have often from my trencher fed. Ingrateful villain, for to use me thus.
What I have said to him is naught but truth.
What thou hast said springs from an envious heart, a cannibal that doth eat men alive. But here, upon my knee, believe me, sir, and what I speak, so help me God, is true. We scarce have meat to feed our little babes. Most of our plate is in that broker's hand, which, had we money to defray our debt, think we would not buy that penury. Be merciful, kind Master Friscable. My husband, children, and myself will eat but one meal a day. The other will we keep and sell as part to pay the debt we owe to you. If ever tears did pierce a tender mind, be pitiful. Let me some favour find.
Be you not so mad, sir, to believe her tears.
Go to. I see thou art an envious man. Good Mistress Bannister, kneel not to me. I pray, rise up. You shall have your desire. Hold! Officers, be gone. There's for your pains. You know you owe to me £1,000. Here, take my hand. If ere God make you able and place you in your former state again, pay me. But if still your fortune frowned, upon my faith, I'll never ask you crown. I never yet did wrong to men in thrall, for God doth know what to myself may fall.
This unexpected favour, undeserved, doth make my heart bleed inwardly with joy. Ne'er may aught prosper with me is my own, if I forget this kindness you have shown.
My children, in their prayers both night and day, for your good fortune and success shall pray.
I thank you both. I pray do dine with me within these 3 days. If God give me leave, I will to Florence, to my native home. Bagot, hold, there's a portague to drink, although you will deserve it by your merit. Give not such cruel scope unto your heart. Be sure the ill you do will be requited. Remember what I say, Bagot. Farewell. Come, Master Bannister, you shall with me. My fare is but simple, but welcome heartily.
A plague go with you. Would you eat your last? Is this the thanks I have for all my pains? Confusion light upon you all for me. Where he had wont to give a score of crowns, doth he now foist me with a portague? Well, I will be revenged upon this Bannister. I'll to his creditors, by all the debts he owes, as seeming that I do it for good will, I am sure to have them at an easy rate. And when 'tis done, in Christendom he stays not, but I'll make his heart to ache with sorrow. And if that Bannister become my debtor, by heaven and earth, I'll make his plague the greater.
Now, gentlemen, imagine that young Cromwell is in Antwerp, ledger for the English merchants, and Bannister, to shun this Bagot's hate, hearing that he hath got some of his debts, is fled to Antwerp with his wife and children, which Bagot, hearing, is gone after them, and thither sends his bills of debt before, to be revenged on wretched Bannister. What doth fall out? With patience, sit and see. A just requital of false treachery.
And thus far, my reckoning doth go straight and even. But Cromwell, this same plodding fits not thee. Thy mind is altogether set on travel, and not to live thus cloistered like a nun. It is not this same trash that I regard. Experience is the jewel of my heart.
I pray, sir, are you ready to dispatch me?
Yes, Here's those sums of money you must carry. You go as far as Frankfurt, do you not?
I do, sir.
Well, prithee make all the haste thou canst, for there be certain English gentlemen are bound for Venice, and may haply want, and if that you should linger by the way. But in hope that you'll make good speed, there's 2 angels to buy you spurs and wands.
I thank you, sir. This will add wings indeed.
Gold of power would make an eagle speed. What gentlewoman's this that grieves so much? It seems she just addressed herself to me.
God save you, sir. Sir, pray, is your name Master Cromwell?
My name is Thomas Cromwell, gentlewoman.
Know you not one Bagot, sir, that's come to Antwerp?
No, trust me, I never saw the man. But here are bills of debt I have received against one Bannister, a merchant fallen into decay.
Into decay indeed. Long of that wretch. I am the wife to woeful Bannister, and by that bloody villain am pursued from London here to Antwerp. My husband, he is in the governor's hands, and God no doubt will treble bless your gain.
Good Mistress Bannister, what I can I will in anything that lies within my power.
Oh, speak to Bagot, that same wicked wretch. An angel's voice may move a damned devil.
Wait, is he come to Antwerp as you here?
I heard, he landed some 2 hours hence.
Well, Mistress Bannister, assure yourself I'll speak to Bagot in your own behalf and win him to all the pity that I can. Meantime, to comfort your distress, receive these angels to relieve your need, and be assured that what I can effect to do you good, no way will I neglect.
That mighty God that knows each mortal's heart keep you from trouble, sorrow, grief, and smart.
Thanks, courteous woman, for thy hearty prayer. It grieves my soul to see her misery, but we that live under the work of fate may hope the best, yet know not to what state our stars and destinies have us assigned. Fickle is fortune, and her face is blind.
So all goes well. It is as I would have it. Bannister, he is with the governor, and shortly shall have gyves upon his heels. It glads my heart to think upon the slave. I hope to have his body rot in prison, and after here his wife to hang herself, and all his children die for want of food. The jewels that I have brought to Antwerp are reckoned to be worth £5,000, which scarcely stood me in £300. I bought them at an easy kind of rate. I care not which way they came by them that sold them me. It comes not near my heart. And lest they should be stolen, as sure they are, I thought it meet to sell them here in Antwerp, and so have left them in the governor's hand, who offers me within £200 of all my price. But now, no more of that. I must go and see if my bills be safe, the which I sent to Master Cromwell, that if the wind should keep me on the sea, he might arrest him here before I came. And in good time, see where he is. God save you, sir.
And you, pray pardon me, I know you not.
It may be so, sir, but my name is Bagot, the man that sent to you the bills of debt.
Oh, the man that pursues Bannister. Here are the bills of debt you sent to me. As for the man, you know where best he is. It is reported you have a flinty heart, a mind that will not stoop to any pity, an eye that shows not how to shed a tear, a hand that's always open for reward. But, Master Bagot, would you be ruled by me, you should turn all these to the contrary. Your heart should still have feeling of remorse. Your mind, according to your state, to be liberal to those that stand in need and in distress. Your hand to help them that do stand in want, rather than with your poise to hold them down. For every ill turn, show yourself more kind. Thus should I do. Pray, pardon, I speak my mind.
Aye, sir. You speak to hear what I would say, but you must live, I know, as well as I. I know this place to be extortion, and 'tis not for a man to keep him, but he must lie, cog with his dearest friend. And as for pity, scorn it, hate all conscience. But yet, I do commend your wit in this, to make a show of what I hope you are not. But I commend you, and 'tis well done. This is the only way to bring your gain.
My gain? I had rather chain me to an oar, and like a slave there toil out all my life before I'd live so base a slave as thou. I, like a hypocrite, to make a show of seeming virtue and a devil within. No, bag it. Would thy conscience were as clear, poor Bannister ne'er had trouble here.
Nay, good Master Cromwell, be not angry, sir. I know full well you are no such man. But if your conscience were as white as snow, it will be thought that you are otherwise.
Will it be thought that I am otherwise? Let them think, let them that think so know they are deceived. Shall Cromwell live to have his faith misconsted? Antwerp, for all the wealth within thy town, I will not stay here 2 hours longer. As good luck serves, my accounts are all made even, therefore I'll straight unto the treasurer. Bagot, and now you'll unto the governor. Commend me to him. Say I am bound to travail to see the fruitful parts of Italy, and as you ever bore a Christian mind, let Bannister some favour of you find.
For your sake, sir, I'll help him all I can. To starve his heart out ere he get a groat. So, Master Cromwell, do I take my leave, for I must straight unto the governor.
Farewell, sir. Pray you remember what I said? No. Cromwell? No, thy heart was ne'er so base to live by falsehood or by brokery. But falls out well. I little it repent. Hereafter, time in travel shall be spent.
Your son Thomas, quote you. I have been to mast. I had thought it had been no such matter to be a gone by water, for at Putney I'll go you to a parish garden for twopence, sit still as may be, without any wagging or jolting in my guts, in a little boat too. Here we were scarce 4 mile in the great green water, but I, thinking to go to my afternoon's nuncheons, as 'twas my manner at home, but I felt a kind of rising in my guts. Ooh. At last, one of the sailors espying me, "Be of good cheer," says he, "set down thy victuals and up with it. Thou hast nothing but an eel in thy belly." Well, toot went I. To my victuals went the sailors, and thinking me to be a man of better experience than any of the ship, asked me what wood the ship was made of. They all swore I told them as right as if I had been acquainted with the carpenter that made it. Oh! At last we grew near land, and I grew villainous hungry. Went to my bag. The devil a bit there was, the sailors had tickled me. Yet I cannot blame them. For it was a part of kindness, for I, in kindness, told them what wood the ship was made of, and they, in kindness, eat up my victuals, as indeed one good turn asketh another. Well, could I find my Master Thomas in this Dutch town? He might put some English beer into my belly.
What? Hodge, my father's man, by this hand, welcome. does my father? What's the news at home?
Thomas, oh, God, Thomas, your hand, glove and all. This is to give you understanding that your father is in health, and Alice Dowling here hath sent you a nutmeg, and best make water a race of ginger. My fellow Will and Tom hath between them sent you a dozen of points, and good man Tolly of the Goat a pair of mittens. Myself came in person, and this is all the news.
Gramercy. Good Hodge, and thou art welcome to me, but in Azilla's time thou comest as may be, for I am travelling into Italy. What sayest thou, Hodge? Wilt thou bear me company?
Will I bear thee company, Tom? Oh, what tells me of Italy? Oh, were it to the furthest part of Flanders, I would go with thee, Tom. I am thine in all weal and woe, thine own to command. What, Tom? I have passed the rigorous waves of Neptune's blasts. I tell you, Thomas, I have been in the danger of the floods, and when I have seen Boreas begin to play the ruffian with us, then would I down on my knees and call upon Vulcan.
And why upon him?
Because, as this same fellow Neptune is god of the sea, so Vulcan is lord over the smiths, and therefore I, being a smith, thought his godhead would have some care yet of me.
A good conceit. But tell me, hast thou dined yet?
Thomas, to speak the truth, not a bit yet have I.
Go with me. Thou shalt have cheer, good store, and farewell and twerp, if I come no more.
I follow thee, sweet Tom. I follow thee.
Is Cromwell gone then, say you, Master Bagot? What dislike, I pray, what was the cause?
To tell you true, a wild brain of his own. Such youth as they cannot see when they are well. He is all bent to travel, that's his reason, and doth not love to eat his bread at home.
Well, good fortune with him, if the man be gone. We hardly shall find that such a one as he to fit our turns, his dealings were so honest. But now, sir, for your jewels that I have, what do you say? Will you take my price?
Oh, sir, you offer too much underfoot.
'Tis but £200 between us, man. What's that in payment of a £500?
Oh, £200, my lady, sir, 'tis great. Before I got so much, it made me sweat.
Well, Master Bagot, I'll proffer you fairly. You see, this merchant, Master Bannister, is going to prison at your suit.
Mm-hmm.
His substance all is gone. What would you have? Yet in regard I knew the man of wealth, never dishonest dealing, but such mishaps have fallen on him may light on me or you. There is £200 between us. We will divide the same. I'll give you one on the condition that you will set him free. His state is nothing, that you can see yourself. And where is not, the king must lose his right.
Sir, you speak out of your love. Oh, 'tis foolish love, sir, sure to pity him. Therefore, content yourself. This is my mind. To do him good, I will not bate a penny.
This is my comfort, though thou doest no good. A mighty ebb follows a mighty flood.
Oh, thou base wretch, whom we have fostered even as a serpent for to poison us. If God did ever right a woman's wrong, to that same God I bend and bow my heart to let his heavy wrath fall on my head, by whom my hopes and joys are butchered.
Alas, fond woman, I pray thee, pray thy worst. The fox fares better still when he is cursed.
Master Bowser, you are welcome, sir, from England. What's the best news? How doth all our friends?
They're all well, and do commend them to you. There's letters from your brother and your son. So fare you well, sir. I must take my leave. My haste and business doth require such.
Before you dine, sir, what, go you out of town?
Faith, unless I hear some news in town, I must away. There is no remedy.
Master Bowser, what is your business? May I know it?
You may, sir, and so shall all the city. The king of late hath had his treasury robbed, and of the choicest jewels that he had. The value of them was some 7,000 pound. The fellow that did steal these jewels, he is hanged, and he did confess that for 300 pound he sold them to one Bagot, dwelling in London. Now Bagot's fled, and as we hear to Antwerp, and hither am I come to seek him out, and they that first can tell me of his news shall have 100 pound for their reward.
How just is God to right the innocent?
Master Bowser, you come in happy time. Here is the villain Bagot that you seek, and all those jewels have I in hand. Officers, look to him, hold him fast.
The devil ought me a shame, and now hath paid it.
Is this that Bagot? Fellows, bear him hence. We will not now stand for his reply. Lade him with irons. We will have him tried in England, where his villainies are known.
Mischief, confusion light upon you all. Oh, hang me, drown me, let me kill myself. Let go my arms. Let me run quick to hell.
Away, bear him away. Stop the slave's mouth.
Thy works are infinite, great God of heaven.
I hear this Bagot was a wealthy fellow.
He was indeed. For when his goods were seized, of jewels, coin, and plate within his house, we found the value of 5,000 pound. His furniture worth fully half so much, and which all being strained for the king, he frankly gave it to the Antwerp merchants. And they, again, out of their bounteous mind, hath to a brother of their company, a man decayed by fortune of the seas, given Bagot's wealth to set him up again, and keep it for him. His name is Bannister.
Master Bowser, with this happy news you have revived two from the gates of death. This is that Bannister, and this his wife.
Sir, I'm glad my fortune is so good to bring such tidings as may comfort you.
You have given life unto a man deemed dead, for by these news my life is newly bred.
Thanks to my God, next to my sovereign king, and last to you, that these good hopes doth bring.
The 100 pound that I must receive as due for finding Bagot, I freely give to you.
And, Master Bannister, if so you please, I'll bear you company when you cross the seas.
If it please you, sir, my company is but mean. Stands with your liking, I'll wait on you.
I am glad that all things do accord so well. Come, Master Bowser, let us in to dinner, and Mistress Bannister, be merry, woman. Come, after sorrow, now let's cheer your spirit. Knaves have their due, and you but what you merit.
What say you, Hodge?
You this the same fashions. Marry, would I have stayed in Putney still? Oh, Master Thomas, we are spoiled. We are gone.
Content thee, man, this is but fortune.
Fortune? A plague of this fortune makes me to go wet-shod. Ugh! The rogues would not leave me a shoe to my feet. For my hose, they scorned them with their heels, but for my doublet and hat, oh Lord, they embraced me and unlaced me and took away my clothes and so disgraced me.
Well, Hodge, what remedy? What shift do we make now?
Nay, I know not. For begging I am naught, for stealing worse. Oh, by my troth, I must even fall to my old trade, to the hammer and the horse heels again. But now the worst of it is, I am not acquainted with the humour of the horses in this country, whether or not they are coltish, giving much to kicking or no. For I have one leg in my hand, if he should up and lay t'other on my chops, I were gone. There lay Hodge. There I lay, poor Hodge.
Hodge, I believe thou must work for us both.
Master Thomas, have I not told you of this? Have I not many a time and often said, Tom, or Master Thomas, learn to make a horseshoe. It will be your own another day. This was not regarded. Oh. Thank you, Thomas. What do you call the fellows that robbed us?
The Bandetto.
Oh, the Bandetto, do you call them? I know not what they are called here, but I am sure we call them plain thieves in England. Oh, Thomas, we were now at Putney. Oh, at the ale there.
Oh, content thee. Man, here, set up these two bills and let us keep our standing on the bridge. The fashion of this country is such, if any stranger be oppressed with want, to right the manner of his misery, and such as are disposed to succour him will do it. What, hast thou set them up?
Aye, they're up. God sent someone to read them, and not only to read them, but to look on us. And not only to look on us, but to relieve us. Oh, cold. It's cold. It's cold!
What's here? Two Englishmen robbed by the Bandetto. One of them appears to be a gentleman. 'Tis pity that his fortune was so hard to fall into the desperate hands of thieves. I'll question him of what estate he is. God save you, sir. Are you an Englishman?
I am, sir, a distressed Englishman.
And what are you, my friend?
Oh, who? I, sir, by my troth, I do not know myself what I am now, but, sir, I was a smith, a poor farrier of Putney. That's my master yonder, sir. I was robbed for his sake.
I see you have been met by the Bandetto, and therefore need not ask how you came thus. Friskable, why dost thou question them of their estate, and not relieve their need? Sir, the coin I have above me is not much. There's 16 ducats for to clothe yourselves, and 16 more to buy your diet with, and here's 16 to pay for your horse hire. 'Tis all the wealth you see my purse possesses. But if you please for to inquire me out, you shall not want for aught that I can do. My name is Friskable, a Florence merchant, a man that always loved your nation.
Oh, this unexpected favour at your hands, which God doth know if ever I shall requite it. Necessity makes me to take your bounty, and for your gold can yield you naught but thanks. Your charity hath helped me from despair. Your name shall still be in my hearty prayer.
It is not worth such thanks. Come to my house. Your want shall better be relieved than thus.
I pray excuse me, this shall well suffice to bear my charges to Bononia, whereas a noble earl is much distressed. An English man, Russell, the Earl of Bedford, is by the French king sold unto his death. It may fall out that I may do him good. To save his life, I'll hazard my hard blood. Therefore, good sir, thanks for your liberal gift. I must be gone to aid him. There's no shift.
I'll be no hinder to so good an act. Heaven prosper you in all that you go about. If fortune bring you back this way again, pray, let me see you. So I take my leave. All good a man can wish, I do bequeath.
Oh, good that God doth send light on your head. There's few such men within our climate bred. How say you now, Hodge? Is not this good fortune?
How say you? I tell you what, Master Thomas, if all men be of this gentleman's mind, let's keep our standings upon this bridge. We shall get more here with begging in one day than I shall with making horseshoes in a whole year.
Well, no. Hodge, we must be gone unto Bononia, there to relieve the noble Earl of Bedford, where, if I fail not in my policy, I shall deceive their subtle treachery.
Nay, I'll follow you. God bless us from the thieving bandettos again.
Am I betrayed? Was Bedford born to die by such base slaves in such a place as this? Have I escaped so many times in France, so many battles? Have I overpassed and made the French stir when they heard my name? And am I now betrayed upon my death? Some of their heart's blood first shall pay for it.
They do desire, my lord, to speak with you.
The traitors do desire to have my blood, but by my birth, my honour and my name, by all my hopes, my life shall cost them dear. Open the door, I'll venture out upon them, and if I must die, then I'll die with honour.
Alas, my lord, that is a desperate course. They have begirt you round about the house. Their meaning is to take you prisoner, and so to send your body unto France.
First shall the ocean be as dry as sand before alive they send me unto France. I'll have my body first bored like a sieve, and die as Hector against the Myrmidons, ere France shall boast Bedford's their prisoner. Treacherous France, that against the law of arms hath here betrayed thy enemy to death. Be assured, my blood shall be revenged upon the best lives that remains in France. Stand back, or else thou runst upon thy death.
Pardon, my lord, I come to tell your honour that they have hired a Neapolitan who by his oratory hath promised them, without the shedding of one drop of blood, into their hands safe to deliver you, and therefore craves none but himself may enter, and a poor swain that attends on him.
A Neapolitan? Bid him come in. Were he as cunning in his eloquence as Cicero, the famous man of Rome, his words would be as chaff against the wind. Sweet-tongued Ulysses that made Ajax mad were he, and his tongue in this speaker's head alive, he wins me not, then 'tis no conquest dead.
Sir, are you the master of the house?
I am, sir.
By this same token, you must leave this place and leave none but the Earl and I together. And this, my peasant here, to tend on us.
With all my heart. God grant you do some good.
Now, sir, what's your will with me?
Intends your honour not to yield yourself?
No, good man, Goose, not while my sword doth last. Is this your eloquence for to persuade me?
My lord, my eloquence is for to save you. I am not, as you judge, a Neapolitan, but Cromwell, your servant, and an Englishman.
How? Cromwell, not my farrier's son.
The same, sir, and I am come to succour you.
Yes, faith, sir, and I am Hodge, your poor smith. Many a time and oft have I shewed your dapper grey.
And what avails it me that thou art here?
It may avail if you'll be ruled by me. My lord, you know the men of Mantua and these Bononians are at deadly strife, and they, my lord, both love and honour you. Could you but get out of the Mantua port, then were you safe despite of all their force.
Man, thou talkest of things impossible. Dost thou not see that we are round beset? How then is it possible we should escape?
By force we cannot, but by policy. Put on the apparel here that Hodge doth wear, and give him yours. The States, they know you not, for as I think they never saw your face, and at a watchword I must call them in, and will desire that we safe may pass to Mantua, where I'll say my business lies. How doth your honour like of this device?
Oh, wondrous good, but wilt thou venture, Hodge?
Will I? Oh, noble lord, I do accord in anything I can, and do agree to set thee free. Do fortune what she can.
Come then, let's change our apparel straight.
Go, Hodge, make haste, lest they chance to call.
I warrant you, I'll fit him with a suit.
Heavens grant this policy doth take success, and that the Earl may safely escape away. And yet it grieves me for this simple wretch, for fear they should offer him violence. But of two evils, 'tis best to shun the greatest, and better is it that he lives in thrall, than such a noble earl as he should fall. Their stubborn hearts, it may be, will relent, since he is gone, to whom their hate is bent. My lord, have you dispatched?
How dost thou like this, Cromwell? Is it well?
Oh, my lord, excellent. Hodge, how dost feel thyself?
Oh, how do I feel myself? Why, as a nobleman should. Oh, how I feel the honour come creeping on. My nobility is wonderfully melancholy. Is it not most gentlemanlike to be melancholy?
Yes, Hodge. Now, go sit down in his study and take state upon me.
I warrant you, my lord, let me alone to take state upon me. But hark you, my lord, do you feel nothing bite about you?
No, trust me, Hodge.
Aye, they know they want their pasture. It's a strange thing of these vermin. They dare not meddle with nobility.
Go, take thy place, Hodge. I'll call them in. All is done. Enter, and if you please.
What? Have you won him? Will he yield himself?
I have, and to please you. And the quiet earl doth yield himself to be disposed by you.
Give him the money that we promised him, so let him go, whether it please himself.
My business, sir, lies unto Mantua. Please you to give safe conduct thither?
Go and conduct him to the Mantua port, and see him safe delivered presently. Go, draw the curtains. Let us see the Earl. Oh, he is writing. Stand apart a while.
Hello, William. I am not as I have been. I went from you a smith, I write to you as a lord. I am at this present writing among the Benonian sausages. I do commend my lordship to Rafe and to Roger, to Bridget, and to Dorothy, and so to all the youth of Putney.
Sure, these are the names of English noblemen, some of his special friends to whom he writes. But stay, he doth address himself to sing.
Any little fish can swim, any little bird can fly, any little dog and any little cat can do a bit of this and just a bit of that. Any little horse can neigh, any little cow can moo, but I can't do anything at all but just love you.
My lord, I am glad you are so frolic and so blithe. Believe me, noble lord, if you knew all, you'd change your merry vein to sudden sorrow.
I change my merry vein? No, thou Benonian, no. I am a lord, and therefore let me go. And do defy thee and thy sausages, therefore stand off, and come not near my honour.
My lord, this jesting cannot serve your turn.
Dost thou think, thou black Benonian beast, that I do flout, do jibe, or jest? No, no, thou beer pot. Know that I, a noble earl, a lord pardee, a puxy plinks into the manor box.
What means this trumpet sound?
One comes from the states of Mantua.
What? Would you speak with us? Speak, thou man of Mantua.
Men of Bononia, this my message is, to let you know the noble Earl of Bedford is safe within the town of Mantua, and wills you send the peasant that you have, who hath deceived your expectation, or else the states of Mantua have vowed they will recall the truce that they have made, and not a man shall stir from forth your town that shall return, unless you send him back.
Oh, this misfortune hath mads my heart. The Neapolitan hath beguiled us all. Hence with this fool. What shall we do with him? The earl being gone, a plague upon it all.
Oh no, I assure you, I am no earl but a smith, sir. One Hodge, a smith at Putney, sir. One that hath gulled you, eh? That hath bored you, sir.
Away with him. Take hence the fool you came for.
Aye, sir, and I'll leave the greater fool with you.
Farewell, Benonians. Come, friend, along with me.
My friend afore, my lordship will follow thee.
Well, Mantua, since by thee the earl is lost, within few days I hope to see thee crossed.
Thus far, you see how Cromwell's fortune passed. The Earl of Bedford, being safe in Mantua, desires Cromwell's company into France to make requital for his courtesy. But Cromwell doth deny the Earl his suit, and tells him that those parts he meant to see, he had not yet set footing on the land, and so directly takes his way to Spain, the Earl to France, and so they both do part. Now let your thoughts, as swift as is the wind, skip some few years that Cromwell spent in travel, and now imagine him to be in England, servant unto the Master of the Rolls, where in short time he there began to flourish. An hour shall show you what few years did cherish.
Come, sirs, be careful of your master's credit. And as our bounty now exceeds the figure of common entertainment, so do you, with looks as free as is your master's soul, give formal welcome to the thronged tables that shall receive the cardinal's followers and the attendance of the Lord Chancellor. But all my care, Cromwell, depends on thee. Thou art a man differing from vulgar form, and by how much thy spirit is ranked above these in rules of art, by so much it shines brighter by travel, whose observance pleads his merit in a most learned yet unaffecting spirit. Good Cromwell, cast an eye of fair regard about all my house, and what this ruder flesh through ignorance or wine do miscreate, salve thou with courtesy. If we welcome want, full bowls and ample banquets will seem scant.
Sir, whatsoever lies in me, assure you I will show my utmost duty.
About it then, the lords will straight be here. Cromwell, thou hast those parts would rather suit the service of the state than of my house. I look upon thee with a loving eye, that one day will prefer thy destiny.
Sir, the lords be at hand.
They are welcome. Bid Cromwell straight attend us, and look you all things be in perfect readiness.
Oh, Sir Christopher, you are too liberal. What? A banquet too?
My lords, if words could show the ample welcome that my free heart affords you, I could then become a praetor, but I now must deal like a feast politician with your lordships. Defer your welcome to the banquet end, that it may then salve our defect of fare. Yet welcome now, and all that tend on you.
Thanks to the kind master of the rolls. Come and sit down. Sit down, Sir Thomas More. 'Tis strange how that we and the Spaniard differ. Their dinner is our banquet after dinner, and they are men of active disposition. This I gather, but by their sparing meat their body is more fitter for the wars. And if that famine chance to pinch their maws, being used to fast, it breeds less pain.
Fill me some wine. I'll answer Cardinal Wolsey. My lord, we English are more freer souls than hunger-starved and ill-complexioned Spaniards. They that are rich in Spain spare belly food to deck their backs with an Italian hood, and silks of Seville, and the poorest snake that feeds on lemons, pilchards, and ne'er heated his palate with sweet flesh, will bear a case more fat and gallant than his starved face. Pride, the Inquisition, and this belly evil are in my judgment Spain's three-headed devil.
Indeed, it is a plague unto their nation who stagger after in blind imitation.
My lords, with welcome I present your lordships a solemn health.
I love health well, but when his healths do bring pain to the head and bodies surfeiting, then cease I healths. Nay, spill not, friend, for the drops be small, yet they have force to force men into the wall.
Sir Christopher, is that your man? Oh, no, wait.
Sir Christopher, is that your man?
And like your grace, he is a scholar and a linguist, one that hath travelled many parts of Christendom, my lord.
My friend, come nearer. Have you been a traveller?
My lord, I have added to my knowledge the Low Countries, France, Spain, Germany, and Italy, and though small gain of profit I did find, yet it did please my eye, content my mind.
And what do you think of the several states and princes' courts as you have travelled?
My lord, no court with England may compare, neither for state nor civil government. Lust dwells in France, in Italy and Spain, from the poor peasant to the prince's train. In Germany and Holland, riot serves, and he that most can drink, most he deserves. England I praise not, for here I was born, but that she loveth the others unto scorn.
My lord, there dwells within that spirit more than can be discerned by outward eye. Sir Christopher, will you part with your man?
I have sought to prefer him to your lordship, and now I see he hath preferred himself.
What's thy name?
Cromwell, my lord.
Then Cromwell, here we make thee solicitor of our causes, and nearest next ourselves. Gardner, give you kind welcome to the man.
My lord, your royal winner have got a man besides your bounteous dinner. Well, knight, pray we come no more. If we come often, or shut up thy door.
Sir Christopher, thou hast given me hadst thou given me half thy lands, thou couldst not have pleased me so much as with this man of thine. My infant thoughts do spell, shortly his fortune shall be lifted higher. true industry doth kindle honour's fire. And so, kind master of the rolls, farewell.
Cromwell, farewell.
Cromwell takes his leave of you, that ne'er will leave to love and honour you.
Now Cromwell's highest fortunes doth begin. Wolsey, that loved him as he did his life, committed all his treasure to his hands. Wolsey is dead, and Gardiner, his man, is now created Bishop of Winchester. Pardon if we omit all Wolsey's life, because our play depends on Cromwell's death. Now sit and see the highest state of all, his height of rising and his sudden fall. Pardon the errors is already past, and live in hope the best doth come at last. My hope upon your favour doth depend, and look to have your liking ere the end.
Master Cromwell, since Cardinal Wolsey's death, His Majesty is given to understand that certain bills and writings in your hand that much concern the state of England. My Lord of Winchester, is it not so?
My Lord of Norfolk, we two were whilom fellows, and Master Cromwell, through our master's love, did bind us while his love was to the king. It is not boot now to deny these things, which may be prejudicial to the state. And though that God hath raised my fortune higher than any way I looked for or deserved, yet my life no longer with me dwell, than I prove true unto my sovereign. What say you, Master Cromwell? Have you those writings? Aye or no?
Here are the writings, and upon my knees I give them up unto the worthy dukes of Suffolk and of Norfolk. He was my master, and each virtuous part that lived in him I tended with my heart. But what his head complotted against the state, my country's love commands me that to hate. His sudden death I grieve for, not his fall, because he sought to work my country's thrall.
Cromwell, the king shall hear of this thy duty, whom I assure myself will well reward thee. My lord, let's go unto his majesty and show these writings which he longs to see.
How now? Who's this? Cromwell! By my soul, welcome to England! Thou once didst save my life, didst not, Cromwell?
If I did so, 'tis greater glory for me that you remember it, than of myself vainly to report it.
Well, Cromwell, now is the time I shall command thee to my sovereign. Cheer up thyself, for I will raise thy state. A Russell yet was never found in great.
Oh, how uncertain is the wheel of state! Who lately greater than the cardinal for fear and love? And now who lower lies? Gay honours are but fortune's flatteries, and whom this day pride and promotion swells, tomorrow envy and ambition quells.
Who sees the cobweb entangle the poor fly may boldly say the wretch's death is nigh.
They knew his state and proud ambition was too violent to last over long.
Who soars too near the sun with golden wings, melts them to ruin his own fortune brings.
Cromwell, kneel down in King Henry's name. Arise, Sir Thomas Cromwell. Thus begins thy fame.
Cromwell, the majesty of England, for the good liking he conceives of thee, makes thee master of the jewel house, chief secretary to himself, and withal creates thee one of his highness privy council.
Where is my Lord Bedford? Was he not supposed to be here?
I see him not.
Well then, Sir Thomas Cromwell is knighted, my lord. My lord?
He is knighted. Then,
He is my lord.
Then to add honour to his name, the king creates him Lord Keeper of his Privy Seal and Master of the Rolls, which you, Sir Christopher, do now enjoy. The king determines higher place for you.
My lords, these honours are too high for my desert.
Oh, content thee, man, who would not choose it? Yet thou art wise in seeming to refuse it.
Here's honours, titles, and promotions. I fear this climbing will have a sudden fall.
Then come, my lords, let's all together bring this new-made counsellor to England's king.
Gardiner means his glory shall be dimmed. Shall Cromwell live a greater man than I? My envy with his honour now is bred. I hope to shorten Cromwell by the head.
Oh, frisky ball, what shall become of thee? Where shalt thou go? Which way shalt thou turn? Fortune, that turns her too unconstant wheel, hath turned thy wealth and riches in the sea. All parts abroad where I have been grows weary of me, and denies me succour. My debtors that should relieve my want forswears my money, say they owe me none. Know my state too mean to bear out law. And here in London, where I oft have been and have done good to many a wretched man, I am now most wretched here, despised myself. In vain it is more of their hearts to try. Be patient, therefore, lay thee down and die.
Come, Joan, come. Let's see what he'll do for us now. I wish we have done for him, when many a time and often he might have gone hungry to bed.
Alas, man, now he is made a lord, he'll never look upon us. He'll fulfil the old proverb, set beggars a horseback and they'll ride. A well-a-day for my cow, such as he hath made us come behindhand. We had never pawned our cow else to pay our rent.
Well, Joan, he'll come this way, and by God's dickers, I'll tell him roundly of it. And if he were 10 lords, I shall know that I had not my cheese and bacon for nothing.
Oh, do you remember, husband, how we would mooch up my cheesecakes? He hath forgot this now, but we'll remember him.
Aye, we shall have now 3 flaps with a foxtail, but, i' faith, I'll give her a joint, but I'll tell him his own. Stay, who comes here? Oh, stand up! Here he comes, stand up!
Come away with these beggars here. Rise up, sirrah. Come out the good people. Run a fool there. Ho!
Aye, we are kicked away. Now we come for our own. The time hath been, he would look more friendly upon us. And you, Hodge, we knew you well enough, though you are so fine.
Come hither, Sarah. Stay, what men are these? My honest host of Hounslow and his wife. I owe thee money, father, do I not?
Aye, by the body of me dost thou. Thou wouldst pay me? Good £4 it is. I have the post at home.
I know 'tis true. Sarah, give him 10 angels. And look, your wife and you do stated dinner, and while you live, I freely give to you £4 a year for the £4 I owed you.
Art not changed. Our old Tom still. Now God bless the good Lord Tom. Home, Joan, home. I'll dine with my Lord Tom today, and thou shalt come next week. Fetch my cow. Home, Joan, home.
Now God bless thee, my good Lord Tom. I'll fetch my cow presently.
Sarah, go to yon stranger. Tell him I desire him stay at dinner. I must speak with him.
My lord of Norfolk, see you this same bubble, that same puff, But mark the end, my lord. Mark the end.
I promise you I like not something he hath done. But let that pass. The king doth love him well.
Good morrow to my lord of Winchester. I know you bear me hard about the Abbey lands.
Have I not reason when religion is wronged? You had no colour for what you have done.
Yes, the abolishing of Antichrist and of this popish order from our realm. I am no enemy to religion, but what is done, it is for England's good. What did they serve for but to feed a sort of lazy abbots and of full-fed friars? They neither plough nor sow, and yet they reap the fat of all the land and suck the poor. Look, what was theirs is in King Henry's hands. His wealth before lay in the Abbey lands.
Indeed, these things you have alleged, my lord, when God doth know the infant yet unborn will curse the time the abbeys were pulled down. I pray, now where is hospitality? Where now may poor distressed people go for to relieve their need or rest their bones when weary travel doth oppress their limbs, and where religious men should take them in shall now be kept back with a mastiff dog and thousand.
Oh, my lord, no more. Things past redress, 'tis bootless to complain.
What shall we to the convocation house?
We'll follow you, my lord. Pray lead the way.
How? One Cromwell made Lord Keeper since I left Putney and dwelt in Yorkshire. I never heard better news. I'll see that Cromwell, or it shall go hard.
My aged father! State set aside, father. On my knee, I crave your blessing. One of my servants, go and have him in at better leisure. Will we talk with him?
Now if I die, how happy were the day to see this comfort range forth showers of joy.
This duty in him shows a kind of grace.
Go on, before, for time draws on apace.
I wonder what this lord would have with me. His man so strictly gave me charge to stay. I never did offend him, to my knowledge. Well, good or bad, I mean to bide it all. Worse than I am now, never can befall.
Wife, I take it be almost dinner time, for Master Newton and Master Crosby sent to me last night they would come dine with me and take their bond in. I pray thee hie thee home and see that all things be in readiness.
They shall be welcome, husband. I'll go before. But is not that man Master Friskable?
Oh heavens, it is kind Master Friskable. Say, sir, what hap hath brought you to this pass?
The same that brought you to your misery.
Why would you not acquaint me with your state? Is Bannister, your poor friend, quite forgot, whose goods, whose love, whose life and all is yours?
I thought your usage would be as the rest, that had more kindness at my hands than you, yet looked askance when they saw me poor.
If Bannister should bear so base a heart, I never would look my husband in the face, but hate him as I would a cockatrice.
Well thou mightest, should Bannister deal so. Since I saw you, sir, my state is mended, and for the £1,000 I owe to you, I have it ready for you, sir, at home. And though I grieve your fortune is so bad, yet that my haps to help you make me glad. And now, sir, will it please you walk with me?
Not yet I cannot, for the Lord Chancellor hath here commanded me to wait on him. For what I know not, pray God 'tis for my good.
Never make doubt of that, I'll warrant you. He is as kind a noble gentleman as ever did possess the place he hath.
Sir, my brother is his steward. If you please, we'll go along and bear you company. I know we shall not want for welcome there.
With all my heart. But what's become of Bagot?
He is hanged for buying jewels of the king's.
A just reward for one so impious. the time draws on, sir. Will you go along?
I'll follow you, kind Master Friskable.
Now, Master Crosby, I see you have a care to keep your word in payment of your money.
By my faith, I have reason upon a bond. £3,000 is too much to forfeit. Yet I doubt not, Master Bannister.
By my faith, your sum is more than mine, and yet I am not much behind you too, considering that today I paid at court.
Mass, and well remembered. Now, what's the reason the Lord Cromwell's men wear such long skirts upon their coats? They reach almost down to their very ham.
I will resolve you, sir, and thus it is. The Bishop of Winchester that loves not Cromwell, as great men are envied, as well as less. A while ago, there was a jar between them, and it was brought to my Lord Cromwell's ear that Bishop Gardiner would sit on his skirt, upon which word he made his men long blue coats, and in the court wore one of them himself. And meeting with the bishop, quoth he, My lord, here's skirt enough now for your grace to sit on, which vexed the bishop to the very heart. This is the reason why they wear long coats.
'Tis always seen, and mark it for a rule, that one great man will envy still another. But 'tis a thing that nothing concerns me. What shall we now to Master Bannister's?
Aye, come, we'll pay him royally for our dinner.
Uncover there, gentlemen.
My noble lords of Suffolk and of Bedford, your honour's welcome to poor Cromwell's house. Where is my father? Nay, be covered, father, although that duty to these noble men doth challenge it, yet I'll make bold with them. Your head doth bear the calendar of care. What Cromwell covered, and his father bare, it must not be. Now, sir, to you. Is not your name Friskable and a Florentine?
My name was Friskable, till cruel fate did rob me of my name and of my state.
What fortune brought you to this country now?
All other parts hath left me succorless, save only this. Because of debts I have, I hope to gain for to relieve my want.
Did you not once, upon your Florence bridge, help two distressed men robbed by the bandetto? His name was Cromwell?
Well, I never made my brain a calendar of any good I did. I always loved this nation with my heart.
I am that Cromwell that you there relieved. 16 ducats you gave me for to clothe me, 16 to bear my charges, by the way, and 16 more I had for horses' hire. There be those several sums justly returned. Yet with injustice serving at my need, and to repay them without interest, therefore receive of me these 4 several bags. In each of them there is 400 marks, and bring me the names of all your debitors, and if they will not see you paid, I will. God forbid that I should see him fall that helped me in my greatest need of all. Here stands my father that first gave me life. Alas, what duty is too much for him? This man, in times of need, did save my life, and therefore I cannot do too much for him. And by this old man, I oftentimes was fed, else might I have gone supperless to bed. Such kindness have I had of these 3 men. Cromwell no way can repay again. Now, in to dinner, for we stay too long, and to good stomachs is no greater wrong.
Sirrah, where be those men I caused to stay?
They do attend your pleasure, sir, within.
Bid them come hither, and stay you without. For by those men, the fox of this same land, that makes a goose of better than himself, will worry him into his latest home, or Gardner will fail in his intent. As for the Dukes of Suffolk and Norfolk, whom I have sent for to come speak with me, howsoever outwardly they shadow it, yet in their hearts I know they love him not. As for the Earl of Bedford, he is but one, and dare not gainsay what we do set down. Now, my friends, you know I saved your lives, when by the death you had law you had deserved death, and then you promised me upon your oaths to venture both your lives to do me good.
We swore no more than that we will perform.
I take your words, and that which you must do is service for your God and for your king, to root a rebel from this flourishing land, one that's an enemy unto the church. And therefore must you take our solemn oaths that you heard Cromwell, the Lord Chancellor, did wish a dagger at King Henry's heart. Fear not to swear it, for I heard him speak it. Therefore we'll shield you from ensuing harms.
If you will warrant us the deed is good, we'll undertake it.
Kneel down, and I will here absolve you both. This crucifix I lay upon your head, and sprinkle holy water on your brows. The deed is meritorious that you do, and by it you shall purchase grace from heaven.
Now, sir, we'll undertake it, by our souls.
For Cromwell never loved none of our sort.
I know he doth not, and for both of you, I will prefer you to some place of worth. Now get you in until I call for you, for presently the dukes mean to be here. Cromwell, sit fast. Thy time's not long to reign. The abbeys that were pulled down by thy means is now a mean for me to pull thee down. Thy pride also thine own head lights upon, for thou art he hath changed religion. But now no more, for here the dukes are come.
Good to my Lord Bishop.
How fares my lord? What, are you all alone?
No, not alone, my lords. My mind is troubled. I know your honour's muse, wherefore I sent, and in such haste. What, came you from the king?
We did, and left none but Lord Cromwell with him.
Oh, what a dangerous time is this we live in. This Thomas Wolsey, he's already gone. And Thomas More, he followed after him. Another Thomas yet that doth remain, that is far worse than either of those twain. And if with speed, my lords, we not pursue it, I fear the king and all the land will rue it.
Another Thomas, pray God it be not Cromwell.
My Lord Bedford, it is that traitor Cromwell.
Is Cromwell false? My heart will never think it.
My Lord of Winchester, what likelihood or proof have you of this his treachery?
My lord, too much. Call in the men within. These men, my lords, upon their oaths affirm that they did hear Lord Cromwell in his garden wished a dagger sticking at the heart of our King Henry. What is this but treason?
If it be so, my heart doth bleed with sorrow.
Say you, friends, what? Did you hear these words?
We did, and like your grace.
In what place was Lord Cromwell when he spake them? And where was Lord Cromwell when he spake these words?
Some half year since.
How chance that you concealed it all this time?
His greatness made us fear. That was the cause.
Aye, his greatness, that's the cause indeed. And to make his treason here more manifest, he calls his servants to him round about, tells them of Wolsey's life and of his fall, says that himself hath many enemies, and gives to some of them a park or manor, to others leases, lands to other some. What need he do thus in his prime of life, and if he were not fearful of his death?
My lord, these likelihoods are very great.
Pardon me, lords, for I must needs depart. Their proofs are great, but greater is my heart.
My friends, take heed of that which you have said. Your souls must answer what your tongues report. Therefore take heed. Be wary what you do.
My lord, we speak no more but truth.
Let them depart. My lord of Winchester, let these men be close kept until the day of trial.
They shall, my lord. Oh, take in these 2 men. My lords, if Cromwell have a public trial, that which we do is void by his denial. You know the king will credit none but him.
'Tis true, he rules the king even as he pleases.
How shall we do for to attach him then?
Marry, my lords, thus, by an act he made himself, with an intent to entrap some of our lives. And this it is, if any counsellor be convicted of a high treason, he shall be executed without a public trial. This act, my lords, he caused the king to make.
Did indeed. And I remember it. And now it is like to fall upon himself.
Let us not slack it. 'Tis for England's good. We must be wary, else he'll go beyond us.
Well hath your grace said, my lord of Norfolk. Therefore, let us presently to Lambeth. Thither comes Cromwell from the court tonight. Let us arrest him, sending him to the Tower, and in the morning, cut off the traitor's head.
Come then, about it. Let us guard the town. This is the day that Cromwell must go down.
Along, my lords. Well, Cromwell is half dead. He shakes my heart, but I will shave his head.
My soul is like a water troubled, and Gardner is the man that makes it so. Oh, Cromwell, I do fear thy end is near. Yet I'll prevent their malice if I can, and in good time see where the man doth come, who little knows how nears his day of doom.
You're well encountered, my good lord of Bedford. I see your honour is addressed to talk. Pray pardon me, I am sent for to the king, and do not know the business yet myself. So fare you well, for I must needs be gone.
You must. Well, what remedy? I fear too soon you must be gone indeed. The king hath business, but little dost thou know who's busy for thy life. Thou think'st not so.
Ah, the second time well met, my lord of Bedford. I am very sorry that my haste is such. Lord Marquis Dorset being sick to death, I must receive of him the privy seal. At Lambeth, soon my lord will talk our fill.
How smooth and easy is the way to death.
My lord, the Dukes of Norfolk and of Suffolk, accompanied with the Bishop of Winchester, entreats you to come presently to Lambeth on earnest matters that concerns the state.
To Lambeth? So, go fetch me pen and ink. I and Lord Cromwell there shall talk enough. I and alas, I fear, and if he come. Here, take this letter and bear it to Lord Cromwell. Bid him read it. Say it concerns him near. Away! Be gone! Make all the haste you can! To Lambeth go! I go a woeful man.
Is the barge ready? I will straight to Lambeth, and if this one day's business once were past, I'd take my ease tomorrow after trouble. How now? My friend, wouldst thou speak with me?
Sir, here's a letter from my Lord of Bedford.
Good. My friend, commend me to thy lord. Hold, take those angels. Drink them for thy pains.
He doth desire your grace to read it, because he says it doth concern you near.
Oh, bid him assure himself of that. Farewell. Tomorrow tell him shall he hear from me. Set on before there, and away to Lambeth.
Hobarts, stand close unto the waterside. Sergeant at arms, be bold in your office. Herald, deliver your proclamation.
This is to give notice to all the king's subjects, the late Lord Cromwell, Lord Chancellor of England, Vicar General over the realm, him to hold and esteem as a traitor against the crown and dignity of England. So God save the king.
Amen.
Amen, and root thee from the land, for whilst thou livest, truth cannot stand.
Make a lane there, the traitors at hand. Keep back Cromwell's men. Drown them if they come on. Sergeant, your office.
What means my Lord of Norfolk by those words? Sirs, come along.
Kill them if they come on.
Lord Cromwell, in King Henry's name, I do arrest your honour of high treason.
Sergeant, me of treason.
Kill them if they draw a sword.
Hold, I charge you, as you love me, draw not a sword. Who dares accuse Cromwell of treason now?
This is no place to reckon up your crime. Your dove-like looks were viewed with serpent's eyes.
With serpent's eyes, indeed. By thine they were. But Gardiner, do thy worst, I fear thee not. My faith compared with thine as much shall pass as doth the diamond excel the glass. Attached of treason, no accusers by. Indeed, what tongue dares speak so foul a lie?
My lord, matters are too well known, and it is time the king had note thereof.
The king, let me go to him face to face. No better trial I desire than that. Let him but say that Cromwell's faith was feigned, then let my honour and my name be stained. If ever my heart against my king was set, oh, let my soul in judgment answer it. Then if my faith's confirmed with his reason, against whom hath Cromwell then committed treason?
My lord, your matter shall be tried. Meantime, with patience, content yourself.
Perforce I must with patience be content. Oh, dear friend Bedford, dost thou stand so near? Cromwell rejoiceth, one friend sheds a tear. And whitherest? Which way must Cromwell now?
My lord, you must unto the tower. Lieutenant, take him to your charge.
Well, where you please. Yet, before I part, let me confer a little with my men.
As you go by water, so you shall.
I have some business present to impart.
You may not stay. Lieutenant, take your charge.
Wow. Well, my lord, you second Gardiner's text. Norfolk, farewell, thy turn will be the next.
His guilty conscience makes him rave, my lord.
Aye, let him talk. His time is short enough.
My lord of Bedford, come. You weep for him, that would not shed half a tear for you.
It grieves me for to see his sudden fall.
Such success wish I to traitors still.
Why, can this news be true? Is it possible? The great Lord Cromwell arrested upon treason. I can hardly believe it so.
It's too true, sir. It were otherwise. Condition I spent half the wealth I had. I was at Lambeth, saw him there arrested, and afterward committed to the Tower.
Was for treason that he was committed?
kind, noble gentleman. I may rue the time. All that I have I did enjoy by him, and if he did die, then all my state is gone.
It may be doubted that he shall not die, because the king did favour him so much.
Oh, sir, you are deceived in thinking so. The grace and favor he had with the king hath caused him have so many enemies that he that in court secure will keep himself must not be great, for then he is envied at. The shrub is safe when as the cedar shakes, for where the king doth love above compare of others, they as much more envied are.
'Tis pity that this noble man should fall. He did so many charitable deeds.
'Tis true, and yet you see in each estate there's none so good, but someone doth him hate. And they before would smile him in the face will be the foremost to do him disgrace. What, will you go along unto the court?
I care not if I do, and hear the news. How men will judge what shall become of him.
Some will speak hardly, some will speak in pity. Go you to the court, I'll unto the city. There I am sure to hear more news than you.
Why then soon will we meet again.
Now, Cromwell, hast thou time to meditate and think upon thy state and of the time thy honours came unsought, aye, and unlooked for, thy fall as sudden and unlooked for too. What glory was in England that I had not, who in this land commanded more than Cromwell, except the king, who greater than myself. But now I see what after ages shall. The greater man, more sudden is their fall. And now I do remember the Earl of Bedford was very desirous for to speak with me, and afterwards sent to me a letter, the which I think I have still in my pocket. Now may I read it, for now I have leisure. And this I take it is. My lord, come not this night to Lambeth, for if you do, your state is overthrown, and much I doubt your life, and if you come, then if you love yourself, stay where you are. Oh, God, had I but read this letter, then had I been free from the lion's paw. Deferring this to read until tomorrow, I spurned at joy and did embrace my sorrow. Now, Master Lieutenant, when's this day of death?
Alas, my lord, when I might never see it. Here are the Dukes of Suffolk and of Norfolk, Winchester, Bedford, and Sir Richard Ratcliffe, with others. But why they come, I know not.
No matter wherefore, Cromwell is prepared, for Gardiner hath my state and life ensnared. Bid them come in, or you shall do them wrong. For here stands he whom some think lives too long. Learning kills learning, and instead of ink to dip his pen, Cromwell's heart blood doth drink.
Good morrow, Cromwell. What, alone, so sad?
One good among you, none of you are bad. For my part, it best fits me be alone. Sadness with me, not I with anyone. What, is the king acquainted with my cause?
We have, and he hath answered us, my lord.
How? Shall I come to speak with him myself?
The king is so advertised of your guilt, he will by no means admit you to his presence.
No way admit me. Am I so soon forgot? Did he but yesterday embrace my neck and say that Cromwell was even half himself, and in his princely ears so much bewitched with scandalous ignominy and slanderous speeches that now he doth deny to look on me? Well, my Lord of Winchester, no doubt but you are much in favour with his majesty. Will you bear a letter from me to his grace?
Pardon me, I'll bear no traitor's letters.
Will you do this kindness, then? Tell him by word of mouth what I shall say to you.
That will I.
But on your honour, will you?
Aye, on my honour.
Bear witness, lords. Tell him, when he hath known you and tried your faith but half so much as mine, he'll find you to be the falsest-hearted man in England. Pray tell him this.
Be patient, good my lord, in these extremes.
My kind and honourable Lord of Bedford, I know your honour always loved me well, but pardon me, this still shall be my theme. Gardiner is the cause makes Cromwell so extreme. Sir Rafe Sadler, pray a word with you. You were my man, and all that you possess came by my means. To requite all this, will you take this letter here of me and give it with your own hand to the king?
I kiss your hand, and never will I rest ere to the king this will be delivered.
Why, yet Cromwell hath one friend in store.
But all the haste he makes shall be but vain. Here's a discharge for your prisoner, to see him executed presently. My lord, you hear the tenor of your life.
I do embrace it. Welcome, my last date. And of this glittering world, I take last leave. And noble lords, I take my leave of you. As willingly I go to meet with death as Gardiner did pronounce it with his breath. From treason is my heart as white as snow. My death only procured by my foe. I pray, commend me to my sovereign king, and tell him in what sort his Cromwell died, to lose his head before his cause was tried. But let his grace, when he shall hear my name, say only this: Gardiner procured the same.
Here is your son come to take his leave.
To take his leave. Come hither, Harry Cromwell. Mark, boy, the last words that I speak to thee. Flatter not fortune, neither fawn upon her, gape not for state, yet lose no spark of honour. Ambition, like the plague, see thou eschew it. I die for treason, boy, and never knew it. Yet let thy faith as spotless be as mine, and Cromwell's virtues in thy face shall shine. Come, go along and see me leave my breath, and I'll leave thee upon the flower of death.
Oh, father, I shall die to see that wound. Your blood being spilt will make my heart to swoon.
Oh, boy, not look upon the axe. How shall I do then to have my head struck off? Come on, my child, and see the end of all. And after, say that Gardiner was my fall.
My lord, you speak it of an envious heart. I have done no more than law and equity.
Oh, good my lord of Winchester, forbear. It would have better seemed you to been absent than with your words disturb a dying man.
Who? Me? My lord? No, he disturbs not me. My mind he stirs not, though his mighty shock hath brought more peers' heads down to a block. Farewell, my boy. All Cromwell can bequeath my hearty blessing. So I take my leave.
I am your death's man. Pray, my lord, forgive me.
Even with my soul. Why, man, thou art my doctor, and brings me precious physic for my soul. My lord of Bedford, I desire of you, before my death, a corporal embrace. Farewell. Great lord, my love I do commend, my heart to you, my soul to heaven I send. This is my joy, that ere my body fleet, your honoured arms is my true winding sheet. Farewell, dear Bedford. My peace is made in heaven. Thus falls great Cromwell up o'er L in length to rise to unmeasured height, winged with new strength. The land of worms which dying men discover, my soul is shrined with heaven's celestial cover.
Well, farewell, Cromwell, the truest friend that ever Bedford shall possess again. Well, lords, I fear when this man is dead, you'll wish in vain that Cromwell had a head.
Here is the head of the deceased Cromwell.
Pray thee, go hence, and bear this head away unto his body. Inter them both in clay.
How now, my lords? What? Is Lord Cromwell dead?
Lord Cromwell's body now doth want a head.
Oh, God. A little speed had saved his life. Here is a kind reprieve come from the king to bring him straight unto his majesty.
Aye, Sir Ralph. Reprieves comes now too late.
My conscience now tells me this deed was ill. Would Christ that Cromwell were alive again.
Come, let us to the king, whom well I know will grieve for Cromwell that his death is so.
Alas, poor Thomas Lord Cromwell, deceased. Killed by inefficient use of his in-tray there. Thank you very much. Round of applause for all of us. Pats on the back all round. Some wonderful work going on today. Helen's head in a bag there.
I had good advice from the props department.
The hat game was strong. Hat game was very strong today. Some wonderful hats going on. Lovely camera work. I thought the little child reaching up is beautifully done. We didn't really prep this, by the way. Some people did do a little coordinating, but most people just winged it. And no, there was some really good stuff on that one today. I have to say, last time we did this in 2 sessions, and there was that sort of thing of the play does change quite radically halfway through, but again it does seem to flow quite well actually, and that transition works a lot better when you're able to give it a reasonable amount of welly. And I said before we went online actually, we were talking about the pacing of this in terms of how long the actual session is going to last, and I was going, this play it's not a quick play. It's actually quite sedate in pace a lot of the time, and I was throwing around horrible comments in the chat of going, pick up the pace, people, pick up the pace. But I don't think the text actually wants to go too fast, and there's a really interesting mix. We really don't actually have that much time to chat about it, so any general things anyone wants to throw in, now is your chance, because you won't have much time. Oh, the magic has been dispelled by Helen there. Yeah. Leaky.
I was really struck this time by how almost naturalistic some of the conversation is. Just really really lovely text to read because it tells you what it wants to do.
Yes, I was going to say, Aliki, what I was really liked about, because last time we read it, we really went for Frisky Ball in overt comedy styling. And you put online, he's just nice. And playing someone who's just nice, and that really came across, and actually that he doesn't have to be flamboyantly over the top, and he really works as these genuine relationships and people just being nice to each other. We don't get that enough in drama. People just being nice. Alexandra.
And what we also don't get anymore that much nowadays is good, strong, proper, genuine friendship. I think that's often overtaken. The last goodbyes would often be to one significant other, and we haven't had a romantic subplot at all in this one. So it was about who does Cromwell care about most at the end? His dignity, his child, you know, his legacy and his friend. That was really, really nice to be part of.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my little jobs I was doing was just going, right, can I construct a way of doing this with a ridiculously small cast, and with a certain amount of textual buggering about, I think I can get this down to 6. I think this would make actually a really nice, tourable show. I think that it's actually got real legs on that sense. You have to change the dramaturgy of the end of Act 4 into 5, and you have to elide 1 or 2 characters. But actually, a lot of the time, there aren't that many people in a room. It's very contained a lot of the time, and it's only with some of the more processional stuff that things get a little hairy. But I can see a route through that. So this is a play that, you know. I did that deliberate thing with the prologue of just going, this isn't Hilary Mantel, this is not the story you're expecting to see, because I think that's really important. Otherwise, people will not enjoy this play because they're wanting all the beats from history that people want. Even though it's not exactly that far, it's reasonably, you know, within its lights. It's got a certain sense of things that are not untrue if they're not necessarily true. If that makes sense. Elizabeth.
Talking about This Is Not Wolf Hall, and I made me laugh so much because I've been reading The Mirror and the Light, the 3rd one, and I was wondering if anyone else in the group had read it too. And I've noticed there's so much differences between the book and the play, especially the character of Bagot, who I thought was fantastic.
Yes, and his father is much nicer in this than anything that Mantel does.
Oh Lord, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't got through the 3rd book yet. I've read the first 2. I don't. Anyone else read the 3rd one yet?
I've got a copy, but I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I've read it.
Yeah, I've got it. First 2 though. So I'll get there eventually. Probably now, because he's on my mind.
Yes.
Sarah, tell me, are you disappointed or happy?
Oh God! Let's have this conversation later after we've stopped recording.
I just wanted a word. A single word would do.
Slightly disappointed, which doesn't mean it's not a great book. It is a great book, but it's quite repetitive. It needed a big editor's pen, and I don't think it got it because the first 2 were so successful.
Yes, we don't have a Mantel duck, but we really should have one, shouldn't we? In this play. Okay, anyone got anything final to throw in? Because I do need to close the session. I say I've really enjoyed this one. I felt it really grabbed in ways that I liked. Eric.
Well, I wasn't around for the first one, but everyone was amazing.
Yes, so for the viewers at home, your comments and thoughts about this play. Do you want to see us do it on whatever scale? I mean, if you'd like to contribute to our plans and our hopes to develop what we're doing here into actual proper big show things from the future when we can all gather in the same room in ways that is communal and nice, then your thoughts and feedbacks is very much welcomed. We also have a Patreon to see if you wish you can financially contribute to the possible production of this sometime in the future. All the links are in the show notes. That plug aside, I'm going to thank everyone in the room. It's a shame we haven't got more time to actually have a little chat about this play, but all that remains is thank everyone. Wonderful stuff, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.